Pallavi, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today we are going to discuss about what is software testing, type of testing, black box testing, and the white box testing. First, we need to know what is software testing. Software testing is nothing but the process of evaluating a software application to identify the defects. We can say that the aim of the software testing is to produce a software that meets the customer requirements and to provide a quality software. Objective of the software testing is that it must reduce the risk of failure and to meet all the customer requirements. In the type of software testing, the word unit testing specifies the individual unit. So in the unit testing, it tests the individual components or function. In the regression testing, it tests the interaction between the modules. In the system testing, it tests the complete system and finds whether the system is safe or not. In the acceptance testing, it confirms whether the software meets the user or business requirement. In the regression testing, it ensures the new changes do not affect the existing functionality. In the performance testing, it evaluates the speed, scalability, flexibility, and stability. And in the security testing, it identifies the vulnerabilities and security risk in the softwares. Black box testing is a software testing technique where the tester evaluates the functionality of the application without knowing the internal code. Here, the tester will focus only on the input provided and the output of the system, does not know the internal concept of the code. The major objective of the black box testing are where it verify whether the software meets the business requirement, identify the defects functionality, validate the user interaction, and checks whether the software behave as per the expected. Some of the features of the black box testing is that a tester does not need a knowledge about programming. The tester must know the requirement and specifications. It must focus on input and the output behavior. The tester tests only the external behavior of the application, does not test the internal code. Next, the process of the black box testing. The requirement analysis. In this, it will study the what are the requirement and specification provided by the customer. After they have been learned, the tester have been learned thoroughly, then he designs the test case based on the expected functionality, then execute the test case using various types of input, compare the actual result with the expected result. Then he prepares the document and report any failure or defect found. Some of the black box testing techniques are equivalent partitioning. In this, input are divided into valid and invalid group called partitions. Let me take an example of age field that accepts the value from 18 to 60. Then the valid partition is 18 to 60 and the invalid partition may be below 18 and above 60. The testing are done on one value on each partition, that is more sufficient because it checks the a value between the criterias. In the boundary value analysis, defect often occur at the boundary values. Here we are going to take the same example of the age range from 18 to 60. We design the test case in such a way that we keep 18 as the lower boundary and 60 as the upper boundary. Then we set 17 as a below boundary and 61 as the above boundary, and the 19 as just above lower boundary and 59 as just below above boundary. In the equivalent partitioning, we set only two invalids such ways that below 18 and above 60. Here we set each boundary value to checks the error or defect. In the decision table testing, it used the output depending on the multiple conditions. Let us take an example like username and password. If we put a valid username with valid password, we can log in. If any one is wrong, we cannot log in. Next is the state transition testing. In this, it identifies the system behavior changes according to different state. For example, if we take an ATM card, if ATM card is active, it gives an active message, or it gives a block message, or if we put the pin wrong, means it expires, or it blocks the ATM card. Some of the advantage of black box testing is that is the independent of implementation detail and suit for large systems. And some of the drawbacks of the black box testing is it does not test the internal code part. It is difficult to identify the root cause of the defect. In the white box testing, we verify the internal structure, design, and coding of the software application. It mainly focuses on the coding part of the program, the coding standards, whether it is free from error, and so on. So we say the white box testing as the clear box testing, glass box testing, open box testing, code-based testing. Some of the white box testing techniques are statement coverage. It ensures that the every statement must be executed once before it is hand over to the customer, or it moves to the next stage. Branch coverage is nothing but each branch in the code must be tested once, whether it is if else or nested if else, whatever the branch concept, it must be executed once, whether the condition is true or false. Next is the path coverage. It verifies all the execution paths are tested once, whether the path leads to a possible solution. In the loop testing, it tests the each loop independently and checks the performance and correctness of the loop. Some of the advantage of the white box testing is that it identifies the code's error, and it identifies the security vulnerabilities and improve the code optimization. Some of the drawback are it requires a good programming knowledge and must need to know all the programming concepts like looping, branching, and need to identify the defects before it goes to the testing.